Good afternoon. A Lethbridge funeral home operator won't spend any time behind bars for defrauding clients. Last July, the owners of Cornerstone Funeral Home were charged with fraud for cremations they did for the province for the homeless. This morning, a provincial court judge handed down a conditional discharge for Ralph Zentner. Daryl Rummold reports.
There was no victory in today's decision for Ralph Zentner, only a sigh of relief, a long-awaited conclusion to a painful period of his life.
This has been the most challenging year of our lives, and we want to thank all the family and friends that have stood by and prayed for us.
Police allege Zentner and his wife Faith, owners of Cornerstone Funeral Home, inflated costs or billed the government for scattering or burying ashes of homeless people they didn't actually do. The Crown alleged 55 separate occasions of fraud over a 12-year span. Zentner pled guilty to one count of fraud under $5,000 last January.
As a business owner, I am ultimately responsible for all actions of our organization.
Inside a full Lethbridge courtroom, Zentner stood with his family behind him as the judge read his decision. A conditional discharge, 18 months probation, 100 hours of community service to be completed by March of next year, ordered to pay $250 in restitution to the provincial government, and donate $2,500 to both the Canadian Cancer Society and an organization that helps those on the blood reserve. The judge also ordered Zentner to give a series of lectures to students at mortuary colleges and members of his profession about the case, charges, and their effect on his business and family life.
It really sends the right message to everyone. Mr. Zentner took responsibility once it was identified for him that the irregularities that occurred were sanctionable, and so he stepped up and took responsibility for that.
In reading his decision, the judge told the court that media and publicity surrounding the case were taken into account, and the damage done by it both professionally and personally. He called it a more effective deterrent than incarceration ever could be.
Just the fact of the allegations and the publicity that's surrounded that had a real negative impact on Mr. Zentner and his family and their business as well. So, he really has been punished quite a bit.
On Friday, he'll learn the fate of his funeral director's license. Today, he'll begin the process of regaining the community's trust he hopes was never lost. Daryl Rummold, CTV News, Lethbridge.
If Ralph Zentner abides by today's ruling, he will not have a criminal record. And today's sentence is already generating heated reaction. Here are some comments from our CTV Lethbridge Facebook page. Tyler says, very disappointed. The sentence should have been more severe than conditional discharge. He was in a position of significant trust. He breached that trust with people. According to Joe, they should have put him in jail. And Steve says the Canadian justice system is a joke. All you need is a little money and nothing will happen to you, in an absolute disrespect to his customers and their families.